What's up everyone and welcome to another episode of Token Tuesday. Today we're going to be talking about Decentraland. Now this is an episode that is of course unbiased, it's an unsponsored video, and of course this is not financial advice. And we want to just talk about tokens that have already been in the market or the latest ICOs. So we're going to be talking about building your own virtual reality on the blockchain. Now, Decentraland will offer you this ability, but for now, it seems like you're only able to buy pieces of land, and of course there are already developments that are happening on it. But let's look into the overall what has been already been developed, and let's take a look. So, virtual reality. I think virtual reality or VR is something that will eventually be a very, very big thing in the future. Right now, there are already games that are already created on PS4 that offers you with the virtual reality headset. And I think there are already other, like for example, I think your Xbox, you also have a virtual reality set. You can even convert your mobile device if it's powerful enough to kind of give you that VR experience or that 360 experience. Also, especially as a content creator, you can even buy 360 videos and kind of give you that 360 three-dimensional perspective of a particular place or area, that kind of stuff. So let's have a quick look at this video on what Decentraland is all about.
What if you could own the virtual world? Create, develop, and trade without limits. Make genuine connections and earn real money. Decentraland, a fully immersive platform powered by the blockchain. Buy land. Design your experience and transform the way people see the world. Purchase the first ever virtual real estate. Get started today.
Yep. So, pretty straightforward, guys. The whole idea is kind of like you're able to buy virtual land at the moment. Wow. I think in the past people kind of sold land, as in like of course real land, in certain investment seminars where you can buy land in developing countries or even first world countries that has not had any development at the moment. But right now you're able to purchase virtual land. So this is probably one of the latest things that you can probably start getting invested in. I understand that there are games that already offer you this, like I think Second Life, which is also I think a very big MMORPG. You can of course create a full life, a whole life revolving around that, and it's fully interactive. Personally, I've never played it, but I do understand because I do play MMORPGs like WoW. It's pretty fun. So I kind of get the whole concept. And now if you're able to buy, the land, you're able to create stuff and build stuff. Yeah, I think the possibilities are endless. So basically as a user, you're using the mana tokens, which is the ERC20, and then to purchase the land is a ERC721. So if you are in the Genesis City as a landowner, okay, you are given complete control over what content is published on their land. So it's pretty awesome, right? Because the ERC721 is non-fungible. That we will get that, probably we can get to that later on the technical side. But you are able to, you can't trade this for any other stuff. It will always be known as a land token. So that's what I understand from the ERC721. Okay, so in the next slide, we are going to be, oh wait, hold on, give me a second, guys. Okay, so a bit laggy. Give me a second. Okay, so where are we at in terms of the evolution of Decentraland? So in June 2015, it was the Stone Age, where it was just the initial proof of concept, allocating ownership of digital real estate to users on the blockchain. Then after that, we came to the Bronze Age, where you have the development of 3D virtual worlds divided into land parcels. Yeah, okay, fine. Then Iron Age is the ongoing. They basically switch to Ethereum, right? With the smart contract tracking ownership of land parcels. And it's a P2P network to allow communication between users, micropayment system, and VR compatible scripting language. Okay. So what are the possible future developments? The Silicon Age, which is of course after the Iron Age, where you have the full-fledged 3D world with full VR support and customization of the law of physics. I think you don't have to really immediately jump to VR because you're not letting a lot of people, get in. I think for the fact that if you're able to just give them that immersive experience on the mobile phone or even on the desktop or your laptop, I think that's good enough. Because no one is gonna fucking go out and buy not everyone can afford to go out and buy a virtual reality or VR set at the moment, right? Because you kind of want more people coming in, especially as fast as possible to kind of have that ecosystem going. Okay, so next is the application. So there's Ethereum, Zom8, and Agora. So Ethereum is like it looks like, I guess, a Pokemon kind of game. Well, you can discover, buy, sell, train, and evolve, and battle against other monsters. So that's pretty much like a Pokemon game. And then you have the co-op strategy game focus on, which is the Zom8, which is a co-op strategy game that is a focus on warring factions of robots. Factions compete with each other for scarce resources, so you're probably going to have to do some mining, right, for resources, kind of like Command and Conquer kind of thing, or StarCraft or whatever you guys are playing at the moment. Then you have Agora, which is the off-chain voting platform that allows users to vote on issues simply by submitting a cryptographically signed message. So yeah, that's basically the governance, or at least full transparency when you do any kind of voting. Okay, so the token utility, Mana is essentially a utility token used as a form of in-game currency to purchase goods such as land and services. Okay, and it's users bid for land during the event using Mana, and Mana is still the only currency accepted in the Decentraland marketplace for purchasing land. Okay, so right now, if you look at the bottom part of the slide, and you can see for the fact that this is kind of like how it looks like if you want to, how much the land costs. You can see the bidding, right? You can see how much is the auction price, and then you can click on it. What was the previous purchase price as well? So it's pretty cool, and kind of who owns it. Next is the token utility, or the land, right? It allows for a unique ownership of land in the Decentraland. And then each unit of land is 10 by 10, 10 meters by 10 meters. And that's about 100 square feet or something in the Genesis city, of which they will have full creative control over the area. So of course, once you own it, as a developer, I think you can start building stuff on it, right? You can code but until there is a more friendly user interface, like now, the only game that I kind of remember building stuff is Sims, where we can just easily buy already ready-made homes, tiles, furniture, and whatnot. It's already done up already. It doesn't come in code, right? So that's like, eventually I see this platform eventually evolving towards that, where people like myself who don't know how to code, I can just buy land or buy furniture from an aesthetic point of view or virtual reality point of view, and kind of decorate my home, my buildings. I think that it's more to it than that. I kind of see it as you can even communicate or build home offices, or at least like run a business on it, right? And everyone will just kind of work with their avatar. That means no need to fucking buy like rent an office like this. You kind of buy the virtual land, and then you gradually hire people, and everyone can work from home. I don't know, maybe. So right now, what is the architecture? The architecture is where you have the consensus layer, where obviously it's built on Ethereum, and then you have the land content layer. So you manage and store, you manage storage, and enables the download of assets using the decentralized distribution system, which is BitTorrent at the moment. But they kind of want to move towards IPFS and Filecoin right? So it's a more decentralized way of, well, BitTorrent is actually a peer-to-peer network. So I guess they kind of want to move on to the full blockchain, who knows? Right, then after that, there's the real-time layer where it enables users, world viewers to connect to each other. So peer-to-peer solutions and servers hosted by LAN owners or third parties. So who is the management or the tech team behind it? So you have Ari Milic, and then you have Esteban Ordano, right? And then you have the advisory board. I think, look, I'm not too familiar with the team, but what I understand is that if you look at the overall team, they are not game designers, which is fine because I think it's all about having the vision of creating this platform, and eventually you want gaming. You attract gaming developers because I think game developers, they already want to build on a platform that is, or at least you have the engine to create good stuff. Right now, if it's so primitive, it's like, you're just buying blocks and stuff like that, then obviously it's going to take up too much time because it's still in the early stages, right? So they will kind of like be building on what you can monetize on right now, right? And then this is somewhat like maybe a side project because it's open source. So you can gradually build upon it and hopefully it gains enough traction. And as the platform matures, you'll see more stuff on it. Yeah, so yeah, this is kind of like how I see it. Then another thing is, although the team has it's a very strong technical team from their previous experiences. And you can probably see for the fact that they are at so the previous experience at Streamium, and then the first app which was implemented, payment channels, Zeppelin Solutions, and BitPay. But they will face strong competition from pre-existing game developers. For example, centralized gaming giants such as Blizzard, Steam, Electronic Arts, and Sony. Yeah, I mean, who's going to stop Blizzard from creating exactly just this, right? Because the whole developer team is just so strong at Blizzard, right? I even know people from Blizzard who are developers themselves, and they're running mini teams, creating games all the time. I mean, the infrastructure for Blizzard is there. But it's centralized, but who cares, right? As long as you are able to have fun, you're able to interact, you're able to have that experience that was intended for. Yeah, who's going to stop them? So to end off, what do you think of Decentraland, right? Do you find that in the future we're going to have strong interactions on this kind of platforms? Do you think that people can work from home virtually and have their avatar attend meetings? I mean, right now everything is all about Skype, and I think the whole world is coming together very, very nicely, right? Like right now we can have interactions over voice over IP. We are obviously able to transact and transfer stuff voice over IP. We're able to buy stuff online. And imagine you're going to have a whole mall or retail experience just by being at a place like Decentraland. So feel free to put down your thoughts and comments about the whole VR space. Are you someone who still believes in real world interactions, or you don't mind doing certain stuff in your life in a virtual reality kind of realm? And feel free to like, comment, and of course share this video if you felt that content was helpful. And last but not least, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and click on the notification button if you have not already. We'll see you in the next episode of Token Tuesday, guys.